it's getting to the point to where I'm sick and tired of looking at this green screen, and I actually might pull it down. Actually, you know what? Because I don't want all my thumbnails to I don't want all my thumbnails to just be me sitting in front of a green screen and I had the agency to just finally pull it down. I was just looking at it almost like I'm looking at my laundry still right now, like, dang, I gotta do it. But I just leave it there. But sometimes it's just doing it. Sometimes it's just the active. Just doing it is all it's enough. You don't need motivation. Sometimes you just need to say you're gonna do it and stand on business. Stand on business indeed. I'll pull this back up when I actually need it. I've had this thing for like 4 years now, and I haven't actively used it for anything, but I have it. And I was testing out what it would look like for streaming and having like the green screen for the background when I'm doing gaming content or whatever. I haven't done that in a while. It's been like a month. I need to get back in the realm of that, but a lot of things have been taking up the at home hours for me. And a little bit of it is gaming, but just not intentionally putting it on online regardless. I was asked recently how I could be what someone else can help me be accountable for. And it was a difficult question for me because I don't need anyone to hold me accountable for anything. Of course, it helps. Of course, I would ask someone to hold me accountable for something that I feel like it's in their domain and it's in their wheelhouse to be able to do so. But for someone to ask, what can I hold you accountable for is a crazy question for me because, well, I don't know what you can hold me accountable for. Like, what do you even have the ability to hold me accountable for, first of all? And then, can you even help? And what am I willing to release to you in terms of information, vulnerability, anything like that, that would allow you to be that or do that? So that was going through my head, and luckily I was the last person to go. And what I ended up saying was to be held to a high standard, and for that standard to not be altered by the current state of whatever. My standard is high naturally, but there are phases and environments where I lower it based off of the environment. And the analogy that I gave was if I'm playing against competition that I deem competition or admirable or capable or competent, I actually play to my standard. But when it's not, and I feel like I am obviously better or they are not as good as I would want them to be, that standard lowers. And I tell myself it's because of the same kind of idea of like, I don't want to, like, I don't get no fun, I don't get off, and I don't find enjoyment by beating someone that I'm supposed to beat. I find enjoyment in that difficultiness. I found enjoyment in that area where I got to work for this. And that's why, because I'm required to be at that standard, that's why I am at that standard, and that standard being my best performance, me actually trying hard every play. Like in basketball, it'd be taking good shots, moving slow, not turning the ball over, playing good defense, getting back in transition, especially pickup basketball. Like back in transition is one of the worst things that just start killing pickup basketball, is like people not getting back and just only playing offense, and that's when stuff gets like annoying. And I'm a victim of it too sometimes, but when that starts happening, then I'm like, all right, yeah, this is not competition no more, because like they're not raising the bar. And that's where I'm like, all right, this is what y'all on? Bet. Okay. And the same thing, kind of similar thing to where, say it's a whole bunch of people, they make a team and we have a stacked team, and I'm like, I don't really got to do nothing for us to win, so I'm going to be chilling. And then, like, say they go on a run or something and they just mess around and beat us. It's like, I'm mad, but, like, not too mad. I'm just like, nah, that's crazy. Now, what does piss me off is, like, I have a consistent standard in terms of, like, video games. Like, if we're playing Apex, or if we're playing Marvel Rivals or something like that, and we're playing against anybody, because it's such a, you have lives and you can come back, and it's a progressive thing, and we're working towards it. But if they make a stance or they're doing something and my teammates aren't doing what they need to do, or what I think they should be doing, or what I think is competent playing, then that pisses me off, because I'm at a standard, I'm locked in, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do, and that shit pisses me off. Cause like, we're a team, like, lock in. I'm working hard. This is my standard. I'm trying to win, and y'all not. I'm laughing because it's kind of crazy that I say that, because I'll be that person in basketball when we playing against like weak people. So like, that's crazy hypocritical of me to say that, and that logic doesn't back up. But at the same time, it's a little different, because no, it's not different, because in the video game I'll be saying that to them, and because I'll be like, these people aren't better than us. Like, look at the stats, yada yada yada. Like, these people aren't better than us. But if they're not better than us at basketball, then I'm taking a chill, or I'm relaxing. So that's crazy. That's a nice realization to have. I think maybe that's just because I know, versus in terms of in real life and physical, and I can see how they're playing and stuff like that, and we just play around too much. Whereas in the video games, I really don't. I actually try the entire time, and it isn't until, well, I kind of do it sometimes in the video game too, which where like I be playing around, but not like, say for instance we're playing Madden and I'm up by whatever. Like, I'm gonna try some bullshit, or I genuinely think I'm better than you. I have a friend, and I told him at the beginning of Madden, college football, beginning of the season when this college football came out, and I said, bro, I think I'm so much better than you. I'm picking the worst team, and I think it was like Kent State, and he picked his team, which was LSU, and I was like, and I'm gonna still beat you. And I very much so underestimated how good and, well, how different the skill gaps were with those teams. I thought that defense was not easy with that team, and because of that, I wasn't locked in as soon as like that whole game, because of the circumstances of me having Kent State and him being LSU. That whole game should have been taken serious, but I was treating that game as if we were playing normal teams, and him being up by whatever, like as long as it's within 1 or 2 touchdowns, is nothing, because I can play defense. and I can get the turnover or I can score whenever I want. When that wasn't the case, and now he still hangs that over my head, and it like it doesn't piss me off because like that's my guy. But then I'm like, damn, like he always gonna be able to hold that over me, and now it's like I just gotta sit on that. I just gotta take that one on the chin. Like, dang, that's an L. That's an L. But if I would have taken it serious from the jump, that wouldn't happen. But I didn't think that that was a necessity because of me not fully assessing the situation correctly, which is the same situation of a team that's actually not better than us and we playing pickup basketball and them still beating us because I didn't assess the situation correctly. It's like you still got to handle business. And that's the analogy. I know that was a lot dragged out that I gave to them in terms of being held to a standard. That's I want to be held to that standard, and y'all can help me with being held to that standard to where if you see me slacking off or you see me like lowering what my actual skill is, what my actual talent is, and me producing at that level, if I'm below that, check me and help me to remind myself, don't what I just said misrepresentate is that a word? Misrepresent the environment that you're in and not be able to hold your standard, and something happens because you assumed that you understood it, but don't assume that you understood it until you're at a position to where it is understood. Like, say, for instance, if I would have played serious with Kent State versus LSU from the rip, and then I was up 3 scores, then in the third quarter, up 3 scores, I can play around and do this, that, or the other. But doing that off rip, expecting me to be able to make up whatever deficit or to make things fun or to make things entertaining for me, because coming back from 2 touchdowns down with Kent State, yada yada, whatever. That's what I ask from them. Hold me to that standard, because my standard should be my standard at all times, but I do fall off that standard. And then the second part was for them to just encourage or check in on me in terms of the creation side of things. Like things like this. This to me is creation. I am creating a dialogue. I not just creating a dialogue, but creating tangible thoughts. And tangible thoughts meaning that you can hear it, I can hear it, I'm actually speaking it, it's on a video, it's getting put into the internet's event horizon. And that's creating at its easiest, at its lowest effort, because I am stacking days right now. I am stacking days. And the stacking days is going to result in the agency that I need to be able to accomplish the actual harder creative endeavors that have been procrastinated on because I have not been stacking days and I do not have the agency at will to do what I need to do to execute on the other creative endeavors that I have. So this is me stacking days, and this is me getting and building to the point to where I can be just as consistent as I'm asking myself to be here in all the other areas of creation for myself. And that's why I asked of them to hold me accountable to that. And I felt like that was warranted. Like those are like general things, but there are things that are actually meaningful to me, because my standard is my standard, and anybody that I encounter, I'd want that from them. If I'm associated with you, I want you to hold me to my best, because I want to be my best at all times, and all times I will not be at my best. But if somebody that I am associated with or that's in my life that I care about is saying, hey, you're not at your best, I'm like, oh, shit, all right, that's it. I got it. Most of the time. And then in terms of the creation, it's like having somebody just bug at you and you have nothing to show for it, or you have nothing to tell them, or just stuff like that. Like that's the thing that is just the reminder, the pokes. It's like, hey, how you create anything? Da, da, da. You make anything? What you been working on? What's like all that? Like that's the engagement that I need to. Where it's like, to me, it's almost like, sorry, I'm not good at sitting crisscross applesauce, and my hips are killing me right now. My right foot is numb. I need to start stretching. Is what I really need to do. At this same time, like, it's late, and this is my stretching time. This is when I should be stretching. That's one of the goals that I have. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing. And that was the idea that I had, but that's what I'm actually do. So one of these videos is gonna be me mapping out on that whiteboard what the year's goals are gonna be, and not like goals in the sense of like, oh my gosh, no year's resolutions, but I'm talking about like what do I actually want to do with my life? What does my life look like? And just an assessment. I don't really think about it as New Year's goals. It's just like a check-in, a reassessment, a realignment with what am I doing now, and what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? And that's something that I feel like would be okay to do on here. It's like, I don't be trying to put myself too much out there. I mean, like, this still is the internet, but I only got 8 subscribers, and I don't even know why I got 8 subscribers. And it's alright, because whoever watching this video, why are you watching this video? So we'll see how in depth, because I don't want to put all the personal stuff on there, because who I am. It's kind of crazy to just like, I don't know, maybe one day, but right now we're wanting to be cool and anonymous, which I don't know anybody that, I don't know if I've put any deprecating. Is deprecating the right word? No. Deprecating is not the right word, but I can't think of the word. Dang, I can't think of the word. The word is I haven't shown anything that would dox me. Dox is not the word I was thinking of, but would dox me in terms of who I am and personal things, or even the city that I'm in. Ha 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 ha. I always think about that too, because like, if somebody really was like on that shit, they could figure it out 100%. And I'll be trying to hide the obvious things just so nobody can, because it just feels kind of weird with how just raw these are. It kind of feels like vulnerable, a little too vulnerable for somebody to just be like, oh, zoom in, like, oh yeah, this person's works here, does this, so all that just a little too vulnerable for me to be put on the internet, even if it's to only 8 subscribers. But at the end of the day, I thought that was interesting that I came up with that answer, because for the longest, and like I said, I went last, and for the longest I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to ask, because what can these people hold me accountable for? But that was a good exercise in terms of those things are real, and those things are something that I can ask of anybody that I feel like is a actual figure in my life. Yeah. What can the people that you spend time with hold you accountable for?